30. So what I want to do is give you both a full taste of the inner wisdom listening. And I'll facilitate. Maybe there'll be time at the end for me to speak, but I wanted to give you both a full portion. So if you look in the mirror, I'm going to mute you both, and you're going to take a minute to just talk to yourself about what you'd like to call up inner wisdom around. So, and I'm going to mute myself, so nobody hears anybody. Starting now. About 10 seconds. Finish. Okay, thank you. You can say bid adieu to yourself, like to an old friend or a middle-aged friend. And next is to take a minute in the mirror. Yeah, please unmute. Take another minute in the mirror, and this time we'll all hear you. So continue your conversation with yourself in the mirror. Nancy, would you be willing to go first? Okay, Jean Catherine, 1 minute in the mirror. All Nancy and I witness, starting with a breath. Starting now.
I know that you want to perseverate on your body, but no. What we really want to do is I want to know how to be excited about all of my ideas, all of our ideas, and know that we can't get them done all at once. It's impossible. And I know you think it's not even possible. Some of you, one of you, many of you, one of you, thinks it's impossible to get them all done. But I know there's a way to get really into one and get it going. You don't have to let go of everything, but you can't get it all done at the same time. It's not possible.
Yeah.
So let's see where this goes. What's possible that we don't see yet, that inner wisdom does? Thank you.
Thank you, Jean Catherine.
Thank you, Jean Catherine.
1 minute with Nancy in the mirror, starting with a breath, starting.
So you say inner peace is your focus after that dialogue of me yelling at you. So what would you like to say to me back? you are pushing so hard against what's so. You're pushing so hard against what's so in your body. And what's so about this, the stress, the the not knowing, the fear.
Tanisha?
So we'll just look at what it takes to have some inner peace around this, and then whatever else comes up. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy.
Jean Catherine, can you take a minute with Nancy? Nancy will be looking into her camera while you look into her eyes on the screen, and you're going to take a minute to continue the conversation with Nancy's eyes, starting with the breath, starting now.
Resisting what is. I want it all and I want it all now. But I've been saying that for 12 years and it hasn't actually happened yet. I'm tired of letting perseverating of a physical sensation to keep me out of doing something. And it's amazing to me that most excited in my life I get is when I'm on a walk and I get ideas, or maybe I'm in a meeting and I hear things and, oh, that's exciting. But my follow through and accomplish and completion rate is not real high. And I'm curious about how to change that. I've been working on that and got a lot of room to grow. And without resisting what is, thank you.
Thank you, Jean Catherine.
Thank you.
So Nancy, 1 minute while Jean Catherine gives you her eyes, continuing your conversation, starting with the breath, starting now.
So resisting what is. That is the Byron Katie mantra, but that doesn't help any. It's just what is. I guess it's resisting grief and resisting fear and resisting incompetency. Resisting just unknown and making a fucking mistake. Spending an enormous amount of time and energy and ending up lost or disconnected or alone. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you, Nancy.
Okay, so now we're going to have 7-minute turn. Jean Catherine, starting in the mirror, continuing your inquiry or conversation. And at any point, move to the screen and call one of our names. And then anytime you can go back to the mirror when you call your own name. Just go back to the mirror. So starting in the mirror, 7 minutes, starting with a breath, starting now.
Well, well, well. So I'm going to start where I don't want to start. And that's just the sensation in the belly. And what I heard as I was listening. And by the way, I love how you get insights all the time. I heard is there's a resistance to digesting what is. And all of these plates that you have full of wonderful food that you say you want to eat, and they're just there. And you get little, you're doing the round robin eating. You're taking a bite here and a bite there, and then you go to another plate, and oh, that meal, that restaurant looks good. Let's go get a meal there. And you get something else. Lee, I wonder what it would be like to have these metaphorical plates of food, have one of them like completely eaten. And actually, I know what that's like, Nancy, because at one point in time, I said I wanted to have a master's degree in Spanish, and I did that. And I have the master's degree to prove it. At another time, I said I wanted a teaching certificate, and I did that. I have a lifetime teaching degree, so if, God forbid, I wanted to go back into teaching, I probably could manage that. But that was an accomplishment. And if I look over the last 10 years, 12 years now, Lee, I keep saying it's 10 and it's actually 12. After it's gone to over 11, I feel I need to be respectful of that and say over the last 12 years, I look at the meals that I have finished. And here's the interesting thing. So what have I finished? I finished Dream Marin Institute for Productive Dreamwork certification from Jeremy Taylor. And I did Marsha Weeder's Dream University. And then where did I go from there? Actually, and then I went with Nancy. I went with the Quantum Success Coaching Academy. You got to have a full coaching thing, not just enough to teach like a 10 week, whatever it was, dream, how to manifest your dreams from Marsha Weeder. So then I had the Quantum Success Coaching Academy. And eventually I added the tapping certification, Pro EFT certification. And then, Lee, I did tribal mastery marketing, and that was good. And of course, I did speaking circles facilitation, both in person and online. And here's the thing, Nancy, all these certifications, how am I using them? Have I finished writing my own program? Have I finished writing my own, or really gotten a practice going? And Jean Catherine, as I said, any one of those, people are making a living at any one of those, but oh no, as the alchemist you are, you keep adding those things, and those you are finishing. I know you love to learn. And Lee, I do love to learn. And my latest thing, and maybe part of it is deeming, it's so hard to do this, but to let go of some of the plates. I'm not sure which plates I would at least put them on the background. Because right now, I've got some ideas that I could pretty easily bring into, but amazingly, miraculously, for actualization in the world. Yes, I've done some clarity circles. Yes, I've done some speaking circles, but I'm not like Eric, who has this constant, consistent schedule. And Nancy, I think without a constant, consistent schedule, how can people know what I'm doing and when? It's like, oh, there she is again. What is she up to now? Oh, let's do a cacao ceremony. Yes, we're doing new moon. Oh, I didn't get a certification for that. First one I've ever given myself permission not to have a damn certification to do. I'm just doing them. And it actually feels good. I love those. Um, but I've got this idea that being consistent at something will help me get a lot of these other meals done. So choosing one and putting it, dare I say, on the calendar until it gets done. For example, the one lead that comes to mind are my oracle cards. I'm working on a set of oracle cards. It's called Wake Up, Imagine, Right Now, with a play on words RIGHTWRITE, and it's created as a prime the pump deck, creativity deck for um, for writers. It also, Nancy, could be used as a fun parlor party where everybody draws a card, and or maybe they get like 4 decks and deal the same and give everybody the same image and say, what do you see? What do you see? Because it's all about looking at photos, my photos, and seeing, what do you see there? What's talking to you? Crazy Fairfax art and crazy things that I've seen on my walks that just are so fun. And I don't have that far to go. I even hired somebody, I've paid her half to help me, and they're getting formatted and looking at, I don't have that far to go with it. And I've been saying for 3 months, it's on my list. Oracle card, Oracle cards, Oracle cards. So what I'm coming to is, hello, we need to make a commitment to every day put, or look at the week and put a minimum of 2 hours or 3 hours. You decide, we'll come back, we'll agree, and put 2 to 3 hours on the week of dedicated time on that project and see how good it feels to actually have something done. Thank you, Jean Catherine, and thank you, Lee and Nancy.
Thank you, Jean Catherine. So, Jean Catherine, one more minute in the mirror. I know you were doing it, so take another minute about what you're coming away with. Starting with the breath. Starting now.
I'm coming away with the already felt sense of completion, of actually looking at the calendar and dedicating, committing to, maybe I call them completion hours. There's so many things that can be pulling away, and making a commitment that every week by Sunday night, decide how many hours will be dedicated as completion hours. Name the project, do the time, and do the time. Yep, you're out of prison, you're free, honey. You don't have to worry about that anymore. But do the time with what you love. And let's get the generation of your work out into the world. You've done plenty on the inside. It's time to work on the outside now.
Finish up.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jean Catherine.
Thank you.
So Nancy, I had you, oh good, you unmuted. And I'm going to mute you, Jean Catherine. I think there's a,
I need to get a Kleenex. I'll be right back.
okay. That's a good sign that you need a Kleenex.
You heard my lawn buzzing tools in the background?
Oh, is that what that was?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was
My original sound on, and so it doesn't, now I turned it off, and then will mute me.
Okay.
Okay.
And Nancy, 7 minutes, starting in the mirror, and then moving around whenever, and moving any way you want, starting with a breath, starting now.
Hello there. You don't look quite so frazzled and tired at the moment. So resistance to what is. the getting ready for this call had 10 minutes of friction that I'm so worn out and dealt with so much friction that I get it. I get it. I'm just going to let you be frazzled and fall apart and break like eggshells. I so resist the fragility. And we've had many people, at least 3, tell us we need to rest. Uh, just rest. I know you shoulder everything all the time, and you don't need to do that. Yesterday, Lee, among the one of the many meltdowns was I couldn't open up a thermos, and I was sitting with Bill in the car, and I started yelling and swearing. So now Jean Catherine, we've got the thermos joke. We don't want to see the thermos lady again. Be be careful. Take care of yourself. I think this is just a normal. Wow, I just feel so weak and vulnerable standing here. I can feel it in my belly. I can feel it in kind of waves. Even the laughter felt like too much energy. And Lee, just the energy to get to this call was incredible. So what I feel like I need is, I had the weekend, I kind of spent it doing as little as I could, letting my adrenals recover. I decided that my adrenals are kind of like if I have a cut and it takes a little while to heal. And so if I've just pushed myself for 3 months, it's okay. What I'm scared of, Jean Catherine, is settling, is getting so worn out, just giving up and saying, let's just get this house, let's just get it done. And then I wake up in a month from this slumber and I'm not happy with it. My slogan in my group is, it's your turn now. And Lee, it's my turn. I've had to live in the Bay Area for 30 years because of Bill's work. So I just leaned into it, and now it's my turn. And it's hard to take. It's hard to take my turn. I'm so used to giving everybody else their turn. So Nancy, when Bill says what his preferences are, it doesn't mean you have to capitulate. It doesn't mean he expects you to, whatever that fucking word is, capitulate. It means he's just saying a preference. You don't have to play the game you've played for 50, 60 years of taking care of everybody. Lee, how does this show up with my group, and how does this tie all back into inner peace? And I guess the shift from resisting what is accepting what is, allowing what is, being what is, being old, being tired, being fragile. I'm never fragile. I'm always strong. I hate being fragile. And Jean Catherine, I'm just gonna look at your peacock for a minute behind you and see what inner peace comes from that spray of feathers. That spray of feathers comes from the inside, comes from a core. And I think the inner peace is part of it's one day at a time, Jean Catherine. It's just taking one day at a time. I'm pretty notorious for looking way into the future and figuring that I have to do it all. So Lee, I think if I can just not resist the 10 minutes that it took to get here, and allow it, and not resist the vulnerability, oh God, that's been hard, then I think it'll be a little more peaceful. Do you think that's true, Miss Nancy in the mirror? We've been through a lot, haven't we? Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you, Nancy.
Take one more minute in the mirror, see what you're coming away with. Starting with a breath.
What are you coming away with? Kind of a pounding heart. And a tiny step into the pool of vulnerability. And I celebrate you for that. You never let anybody see the weakness. That must be an old childhood belief. Must be strong. You don't have to be strong.
Finish up.
So lean into the people you got around you, sweetheart. Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you.
Okay, just a 2-minute completion turn, Jean Catherine, looking anywhere you want in the mirror, calling names if you want. Free range completion of what's happened here today, starting with the breath starting now.
As I see myself on the screen here, completion, there's a word. Me, one of the things that I really got today is that I have completed a lot in my life. And so to tell myself that I'm not in integrity because I don't complete things is not true. Nancy, what is true is that I am an incredibly eclectic person who loves the inner life and loves to learn. And it isn't until recently, Jean Catherine, that we heard Bob Proctor say, knowledge isn't just for knowledge, it's to share, it's to use, it's to apply in life. Ah, well, no wonder. And now, Lee, I get to do that. I have so much inside that I'm excited to share. And as I declare completion itself a motivator, complete feels good. Or deciding not to complete and putting it away, that can be okay too. But Nancy, the power of decision, decide to complete, decide to let go. And really this is my year of mastering the calendar. Let every day be like, is this moment on purpose? Even if it's walking around the block for a reprieve. Is this moment on purpose? Lee, is this hour on purpose? Is my calendar on purpose? And if I can say yes to that 80-90% of the time, then have at it, Jean Catherine, have at it, have fun, and see what happens. It's all a game. Really, let's play. You make me laugh. Okay, bye. Thank you.
Thank you, Jean Catherine.
Thank you, Jean Catherine.
2 minutes, Nancy, completion, starting breath, starting now.
Well, Lee, this has been a interesting time. I guess what I'm getting is this. I just remembered when I went to the emergency room about a month ago and my daughter was here. She freaked out because her mom is never sick. Jean Catherine, her mom is never weak. Her mom is always there, and it freaked her out. And I guess, Nancy, that's a message to me that the more I lean into others, and bring out their leadership and their strength, the more, well, that'll just make a difference. I don't know exactly. I can't say where it'll go, but Lee, it's a different route to go. And I get too that inner peace is definitely a little more available to be present when there's not resisting what is. Resisting the vulnerability, Jean Catherine, and resisting not knowing and resisting the story. So I can feel myself trying to put on my strong cloak right now and look strong again. And I don't want to go there. You just don't have to be so fucking strong, sweetheart. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy. Thank you, Jean Catherine. So I'm going to send the video, and I hope you watch your own turn. And rather than talking about the process, I'd like to ask you, once you've seen it, to send me a few sentences or a paragraph about what this was for you, what this inner wisdom listening circle is for you. So we're going to all just take a full breath. Thank you so much for your courage. Bye.
Thank you, Lee, for your leading it.